Hey guys, welcome back to Contractor's Point of View. Today we're going to take a look at the review for the OnePlus 7 Pro. If you're still on the fence on whether or not you want to purchase this device, or maybe you've purchased another device and you're kind of going, well, did I make the right choice or not? Well, maybe by the end of this video I can help you out and we can talk about this, what I found over the last month, maybe help you make that decision. So the first thing I want to go over is some of the reasons you might not want to buy the phone, okay? Reason number one is going to be the fingerprint sensor. I'm not going to tell you right now what I think about the fingerprint sensor in the screen, but I will tell you that if you're in the food service industry, you're a mechanic, a contractor, anybody who happens to have dirty hands all the time, you're not going to like this fingerprint sensor. It's not going to work for you. My previous fingerprint sensor, I will tell you, is one of the ones that were on the back of the phone. Not this phone, but worked every time. The only time it didn't work is if my fingers were wet. But even when they were dirty or they had paint on them or things like that, they worked fine. This one, not so much. If you have anything on your fingers, it will not work. That's reason number one. Reason number two is the size. If you're not a big phone person, if you've never made that jump to get into the bigger phones, if you prefer like an iPhone 10 versus the XS Max or the Galaxy S10 versus the S10 Plus, this is the plus size model right here. And while she is beautiful, she's big. And if you're not into that, well, I wouldn't get this phone. I like big phones. I love them. They're my thing. This one, almost too big, but it's still right in there. So if you're not a big phone person, definitely would stay away from this phone. And the third thing is wireless charging. If wireless charging is something you have to have, don't get the phone. It doesn't have wireless charging. You can get a device to plug into the USB-C and it sticks on the back and it turns it into a wireless chargeable device. You just can set it right on your wireless charger and it works. And they even have the fast chargers. However, in my line of work, construction, most of the guys take their phones out to their trucks, plug them in, or they'll put them in an electrical box on the job site and plug them in. Now, if you work in an office and something like that and you have wireless charging accessible to you, maybe that's something you want. You might want to stay away from the phone. But like I said, you can add it, but when there's warp charge, seriously, okay, I watched my daughter's phone the other day. Yeah, she has an iPhone 10. She was wirelessly charging her iPhone 10. It took an hour to go 10%. And I don't know if that was just a special situation, but it was an hour that she had set it on the charger and it was gone. It went up 10%. 20 minutes gets you 50% on this phone. I don't know why the thing with wireless charging, I know people like to just set it on their desk and say, hey, there you go. But seriously, it's not, for me in construction and stuff like that, wireless charging is not a big deal. But if it is for you, then you might want to stay away from the phone. However, on the other side, 3 reasons you might want to get this phone. Reason number one is that screen. So there. So there's the bottom of the phone. There's the top of the phone. And you can see that it goes pretty close to the top, pretty close to the bottom, all the way from side to side. The screen does curve. I'm not a super big fan of curved screens, but this one's growing on me. But that is definitely one reason to get this phone. Quad HD resolution is 3120 by 1440. So it's a 2K display and you also have 90 Hertz as the screen refresh rate. If you're into gaming, you know that they've got monitors up to 144 refresh rate. The faster the refresh rate, the smoother the experience. There's just more fluid, smooth movements between everything that goes on. So the screen is definitely a number one. If you don't want any notches, no bezels, full screen display. The only way I would improve it, and this is just me to OnePlus, I would have preferred a flat screen, but that's just me. Because you get some glare off of these edges, because they're pretty rolled off, but they haven't bothered me at all. I haven't found them to where they're intrusive. Yeah, that's the word I'm looking for. They're not intrusive. Number two, battery life. One of the things that really concerns me when I was gonna buy a new phone is battery life. And people were saying at the beginning when they got this phone that, well, if you turned off the 90 Hertz display and you took it off of Quad HD, all that fun stuff, which is the stuff that makes it the phone that it is, well, then you might get 4 or 5 hours of screen on time in a day. And I'm thinking, wow, that's not good. Well, turns out through my own testing, turn on the auto dimming and set your minimum level. I was almost able to get 8 hours out of the 7 hours and 54 minutes, if I am not mistaken. I think I have a picture screenshot, 7 hours and 54 minutes of this thing after a full day's use. And to get 8 hours of use, my wife was yelling at me at the end of the day. Why in the world are you on your phone so much? It takes a lot to be on your phone for 8 hours. However, to get the 4.5, 5 hours, what I had to do is turn the screen brightness all the way up the whole day and use it for the 4.5, 5 hours. Keep in mind that you're not going to have your screen necessarily at full brightness all the time. At least at nighttime, I find it real hard to do. So I have to turn it down anyway. So keeping your screen at full brightness, yeah, you're probably only going to get 4.5, 5 hours of operation. But with the warp charge, you can charge it to 50% in 20 minutes. So not really much to worry about if you have to. So and the third reason is going to be also the same reason as one of the reasons to stay away from this phone. Size. This is a big phone and it is spectacular for viewing videos on. So this is going to be too bright, isn't it? This opening scene in source code is really good. Oh, and I have the volume turned way down too. See how it just fills the screen? I mean, that's amazing. It's so nice to watch. And it does have front firing speaker out of the top, and then you got the speaker on the bottom, so it has stereo speakers. It also has Dolby Atmos. It's beautiful. It's so beautiful. The user experience in this thing is really cool. Gaming on this thing, I play PUBG quite a bit. It has gaming mode where it turns off all your notifications, gives you all your focus is on the game for your RAM, different things like that. Okay, gonna just show you a little bit of how well this looks with PUBG. One thing I did notice is, if you can see right here in the corner, how it's just a little bit cut off. So what's next to talk about? Well, I guess the next thing to talk about would be the camera. The camera. There's 3 cameras, 48 megapixel, there's a wide angle lens, there's a telephoto lens, and those do pretty good. They're good. They produce good photos, definitely good enough to use, comparable to other cameras, iPhone, Samsung, things like that. There's a couple guys doing videos with the video that this phone can shoot, and I'll throw a link up here in the card to one of Danny's videos he did with the 4K. Super good look, but software needs update. OnePlus is working on that. I started with a version 0.5 and now it's up to like version 0.9, so software is getting major updates through OnePlus, and that's a good thing. So we might be able to get some really truly great photos out of this, because these lenses are proven. They've been on other cameras that are working really well. So once some software gets taken care of, it might be pretty good. Another thing to talk about would be the IP rating. A lot of phones are coming out right now with the IP ratings. OnePlus does not put an IP rating on their phone. But there's plenty of videos out there that show this thing being submerged, again in fresh water. I wouldn't take it in salt water. I wouldn't take anything in salt water that you want to last very long. But so there's that. So you got the the selfie camera. I didn't show you that. Here, let me show you that real quick. So here's your, and then now pops up right there. So, and you're in the video. Yeah, that's you. Okay, so selfie camera works pretty well. I don't use it very much, but yeah, that's probably why I forgot about it. But anyway, camera, water resistance. So I think that covers most of it. So that's it for the review for the OnePlus 7 Pro. I know it's not your normal, hey, this is what you're gonna get. And that's because personally, I don't think you guys sit around the water cooler or the truck toolbox or the tailgate and sit there and go, hey, check this out. My phone has a Snapdragon 855 chip in it. Or when's the last time you said, hey, my phone has 8 gigabytes of RAM? Sure, okay. Crickets, right? Seriously. Or even if you talk about notches and bezels. Nobody cares about those things. You might care about those things to have them, but you're not gonna go sit around and talk about them at work. It's not gonna be one of those things you go, wow. Now, the screen on this one, you might actually do that with. You might be like, hey guys, you gotta see this screen. It is amazing. You know, you might have to sit there and go, dude, you gotta check this out. But other than that, no, you're not gonna sit around and talk about, you know, the 3 cameras and it's 48 megapixel. And next time you go to work, whip out your phone, not throw it, but set it on the in front of you on the table or whatever you're at, and see how many people ask you about your phone. Nobody's going to be talking about it. Nothing. Okay. Now maybe if you set down something new, they might go, "Oh, did you get a new phone?" And is your first words going to be, "Yeah, it's got a Snapdragon 855 chip in it"? No. I know, right? So it's just not gonna happen. You're not gonna talk about that garbage. It's a new phone. Yes, it's gonna have some of the latest stuff in it, unless you go for a new phone that doesn't, and then you're the only one that's gonna know what it has. My opinion on the OnePlus 7 Pro is those 3 things we talked about. If you're not into big screens, if you need the fingerprint sensor to work all the time, and if you have to have wireless charging, don't get the phone. If you need a big screen and you want it to be super clean and bright and clear and something that's definitely unique, and if you need the battery life to last you all day, if those are the things you need, then yeah, I would say go ahead and get the phone. It's definitely worth the $700. For $700 you get the 8 gigabytes of RAM. 8 gigabytes of RAM, which is twice what any Google Pixel phone has, and then and it gives you 256 gigs of memory. You cannot upgrade the storage, so the storage stays at 256, but you can get a dual SIM model if you don't get it from the T-Mobile store, which is where I bought mine. If you need the dual SIM model, buy it off the OnePlus website. USB-C charging with the Warp Charge, it works great. Bluetooth hookup is super easy, super simple, super fast. Everything is super with me, right? Today is super day. I'm just saying super for everything. What is not super? Sometimes how big it is. Like I said, it's almost too big sometimes. Curved screen is not super. I'm not into the curved screen all that much. Like I said, it's kind of growing on me. But I would have preferred if it was flat. It definitely keeps it from being really wide, but at the same time, yeah. Let's see, what else? What else isn't super? Oh, the fingerprint sensor. Don't even get me started. I'm not going there. Not in this video. Hopefully you like this video. If you got some value out of it, please hit the like button or subscribe. Let me know in the comments what you think. I really need your input. That's the video. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope it gave you some information to be able to push you over the edge or to keep you from making that leap uneducated. And until next time, stay safe. Is this some phone you're going to want to give to your grandson to have him watch a movie? Heck no. Because if he drops it, it's going to freaking break. And then you got to... people with broken screens, wow. Just wow, okay? I don't understand how you can do that. So that's why I have my case. I have it off for this video, my supcase. This thing is on my phone all the time. I'm gonna be doing a separate video for this anyway, but I have it off just because of this.